TJ, congratulations. I wonder, when you evaluate Cody, his defense seems so good tonight. I figured Cruz would be the guy making a miss, and Cruz was missing so many of his shots. And Cody, has he been that good defensively when you train with him?
No, I felt like he was a little more aggressive when I trained with him. He did, like I said, I was really impressed with his composure. He did a good job of not getting too aggressive and not winging punches, and it kind of held back. I feel like Cruz almost looked more emotional in the fight tonight. I felt like he looked a little bit more stiff and didn't use his jab as much as he usually does, and falling over from kicks and stuff. And I think, like I said, I don't know. I thought it was the game plan of Cruz to get in his head, but looked like it went the other way. It backfired on him.
And what about the calf slicer? Can you sort of go through that and sort of what was going on in your head right there?
Man, that's the first jiu-jitsu move I've ever learned in my brother's garage like 12 years ago. Like wrestling, you always leg right. So I learned a calf slicer, and I've always wanted to hit it in a fight and finish someone with it, and I thought I was going to get it, but I guarantee you his knee or his calf's going to hurt tomorrow because I cranked on that thing.
Did he express any pain as he was laying there? Because it looked like you had it in pretty deep.
I had it super deep. I don't know if I just didn't crank hard enough for what I thought I did. I didn't hear nothing from him, so I'm not sure. The guy was leaning up into elbows when I was elbowing him, so he's crazy tough.
TJ, I know you wanted the title shot tonight that Cody Garbrandt got, but now that everything has played out the way this evening that it has, you putting on a dominant performance and him having a star-making performance, can you maybe think now that the title shot with you guys matching up is actually going to have greater anticipation and probably be a more marketable fight as a result?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna play up the drama like crazy for sure. I'm sure that's what's gonna happen for sure.
The calf slicer was mentioned, and I've noted before that in your fights, even when you're comfortably ahead on scorecards, you seem like you're never really afraid to go for it, even in the third round when you don't necessarily have to. Is that a cognizant thought you have, or is that just an instinct that kicks in that even though you're ahead on the scorecards, you're still going to step on the gas?
Just an instinct. I train so hard that I'm in such good shape that I can push it. I don't want to be a boring fighter. Not only am I going to look good in technical fighting, but I don't want to be boring. I want to be one of those guys that's even when I'm on top, I'm punishing someone or I'm looking for the submission, I'm always working.
And lastly, what was he saying to you? Could you understand what he was saying to you when he was on bottom? He was saying something to you.
Yeah, I have no idea what he said. I even told him, I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. I wish I spoke Portuguese, but I don't, unfortunately.
Thanks.
Congratulations on your performance, TJ. After you won, you said if you didn't get a title shot, the system was rigged. Could you elaborate on that?
I didn't know what the deal was. I don't know if Cruz was the one picking his fights and not taking what he was going to take, or if it was the UFC trying to build Cruz up because he works behind the desk. I don't know. I thought that I was deserving of a title shot after my last fight, so I just figured if I got overlooked again. I tried to talk. I did what I thought I had to do to talk about Cruz to try to line that up if he did win. I figured if Cody won, that they put us together because it's a big drama thing. But if Cruz won, I didn't want the same thing to happen. I didn't want him to look for another fighter or retire, who knows what. I wanted to make sure to build that up before. I figured that was the only way that I could still get a title shot.
Yeah. And earlier on Twitter, there was a little back and forth where Cody said he had his training partner had some tape of knocking you out. Did you see that?
No, it's definitely false. They're not gonna put anything out because I've never been knocked out. The closest I've been knocked out was when John Dotson hit me in the Ultimate Fighter finale and I got stopped. My lights weren't out, but that's the closest I've been to being knocked out.
Do you feel like you have a psychological edge over him since you got to kind of be the big brother in the gym for a while?
Sure, man. He knows I'm gonna bring it. He knows I'm tough. And he knows I know where to get him at. So yeah, absolutely.